What's going on, everybody? It's Gilbert here, and I'm bringing you my extended breakdown of the new Gears of War Judgement multiplayer trailer. Basically, I'm going to watch the trailer, comment on my thoughts on it as we go. Got a couple of things that I wanted to point out. One of which is that there, of course, is the aimer now. There's the the reticle at any given time for, I believe, every weapon, not most weapons. But the first thing I want to talk about is the rifles. If you can look, they're still too powerful. So that right there makes me very, 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 very worried. Because as a whole, that's what was wrong the most with Gears of War 3. Especially the retro, but the rifles in general had too much power. I understand that they wanted to give them more power, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. But as much as they gave them was not acceptable, and this looks like just as much, if not more. Now, there are some people who are complaining that there's no downs. That's just in the free-for-all mode, which is what they've been showing. We can all agree the free-for-all mode will suck, because it's just going to be people coming up behind us with two powerful rifles, so let's not even bother critiquing that, okay? So that's just in the free-for-all mode. That's not going to be a problem with the game itself, right? We can just agree that the free-for-all mode is going to be a great place for either scrubs or people who are new to the game to come and get a couple of kills without earning them, which is fine, so just don't play it. It's a pretty easy way to do it. We'll all still be playing Guardian. It's no big deal. The other thing, obviously, is I do want to test to see how powerful the retro looks. That does not count because this person was already weakened when that retro came in. And the other thing, yet again, is that reticle. A lot of people are complaining about that, saying that it makes it too easy for noobs and all that kind of stuff. Well, here's the thing. If you're a seasoned Gears player, been playing it for a while, you know where the area on your screen is. You know where the area on your screen is where you can, we're going to be shooting. You know where that area is. You already know that. So the reticle doesn't really do much for you because you know where it is. And even with with a rifle, you'll be able to see your bullets coming at it, So it's not really a problem. All that's going to do is help people who are new to the game get a leg up, And by leg up, I mean maybe be able to compete when they first start. Because that's the problem with Gears and why a lot of people don't stick with it, because it's very difficult at first when you first start out. So if you've got a problem with that, I guess your only problem is that somebody might actually kill you. And if that's the case, you might want to see a doctor because you've got a serious case of the bitch whines. So get over yourself if that's your biggest problem with this game right now, is that reticle. So either you already know it, or it's just going to help you when you're new to the game. So that's really not that big of a deal. Also, you saw earlier how you can use the boom shield with a rifle. That's going to be overpowered because as of now, the boom shield's already pretty solid, being able to use that snub pistol. I mean, even at range, the boom shield, I mean, they're not impossible to take out by any means, but they're difficult. So being able to use a rifle with that, not a good idea. Not a good thing. So, yeah, not looking forward to that by any means. It appears to have, all the same sounds and looks as Gears of War 3 does. Right off the bat, it really does just look like Gears. Or like Gears 3. Clearly it looks like Gears, but it looks like Gears 3. And I don't know what just killed me there. I don't know how I feel about this instant respawn. I don't know if that's in every game type or just in the free-for-all. If it's in the free-for-all, it doesn't really matter if it's just a free-for-all thing, but if it's in every game type, then I will personally have quite a problem with that. Spawning in with the grenades is another thing I just remembered, which will really only be a problem if the grenades are as powerful as they were in Gears 3. If they tone down the power of the grenades, which I would assume they would do, then that actually won't be a problem. It just turns it into a starting weapon as opposed to a power weapon, So as long as they make it as powerful as a starting weapon and not as powerful as a pickup weapon, as a power weapon, then it won't really be that big of a problem. Now that retro incident right there didn't seem too bad, but he was also missing a bunch of shots. I haven't really seen enough gameplay with the retro to know. Overall, I'll say, what gun? Oh, yeah, this thing's probably not going to be this. I forget the name of this little sniper thing, but it's crap. It's complete crap. Being able to fire that quickly and have it be, somebody's bound to get a headshot at some point. Being able to fire that quickly takes away the whole point. What was great about Gears in the originals is that even with the power weapons, you still had to be able to use them. It wasn't an automatic, I'm going to get 17 kills, But that's no longer being the case here. At least in Gears 3, it was kind of like the power weapons were so easy to use. I mean, Gears 3 wasn't that bad. It really wasn't. The sniper, you actually had to be able to hit the headshot still. the torque bow, it had the delay in it, so you had to be able to lead into the shots, that kind of stuff. If they start giving us weapons like this, then that's going to be a problem. And it appears he's spawning in with it, which is an even bigger problem. And by an even bigger problem, I mean, what? What the heck is this? Why would he ever be able to do that? That's just a terrible, terrible, terrible idea in every sense. One thing I really can't get over, though, is how it looks no different than Gears 3. You know, as far as looks, sounds, movement, everything is identical to Gears of War 3. So it's almost as if it's like an expansion pack, which I guess is how they were able to get this game out so quickly, is they just took all the everything that they had for Gears 3 and just popped it into this, all the models and stuff like that. Yeah, that's going to be my biggest problem, is definitely going to be those rifles. Definitely going to be a big problem. They did take out stopping power, which is good. Stopping power is annoying. I think that the smartest thing that they could do would be to leave it on take it off of everything except for the original Lancer. They did that for a period in Gears 3 and it was beautiful, and then they took it back for whatever reason. But I think that's the most balanced way to do it, since the other two rifles can oftentimes just be the most annoying thing, and especially if they're going to keep the amount of power that they have. Granted, all of this right now that I'm saying is subjective, and obviously open to patches and stuff, even if I am spot on. But from what I'm seeing, I don't know. I do kind of like this map design, though, where you're able to kind of fall through, jump off of rooftops, that kind of stuff. It's giving Gears a set of levels that it never had. You were never able to drop off of things in Gears before. So maybe that'll be annoying, where it'll drop you off when you don't want to. But it feels like it'll almost have a way to, I don't know, bring it into a whole new aspect, as long as the maps are properly designed, which it seems like they're balanced enough. So that could be a really fun way to play with levels in Gears, which hasn't ever really been done before. It's kind of, you know, if you were up on top of a level where you had to take a staircase down, and that was it. As opposed to here, let's wait for it, you're just going to go down. It doesn't look like there's any fall damage, which is cool. Let's see what's up next. The Nasher, let's see how the Nasher looks. I honestly haven't looked at the Nasher very much. Hopefully it's about the same as it was in Gears 3. It was balanced enough in Gears 3. Could probably could have used maybe I don't know, a little bit more power, but not really. Don't really need it. Just at range it was annoying, but only because the rifles were too powerful. You know, it needs to be able to beat out the retro. That's the bottom line. If you can have somebody spray hip fire in a shotgun fight and win with the retro, then that's a huge problem. But other than that, the Nasher was done very, very nicely in Gears 3. Oh my gosh, you can have a shotgun with your boom shield. Okay, that's crazy. That's just wrong. That's bad. That is very, very bad. Okay, so that's going to be a huge problem. The best way to kill a guy with a boom shield is to get up close to him, and if you've got a shotgun, then there's really no problems with that. With ever, you know, dying unless you get rifled from the back. I don't know, man. I don't know. One thing I don't like is how the grenades are an automatic throw, as opposed to, you know, switching to them. That was something great that I always loved about the series, is that it wasn't just like you always had a grenade cannon mounted to your arm. You know, you actually had to go to get the grenade. As most series, you just have a button you press and it just appears in your hand, you know, like you've got it, you know, right there. But in Gears, you actually had to switch to the grenade and aim it up and stuff like that. As opposed to this, I don't know. Don't like it nearly as much. They're definitely trying to play to the market of more universal players, you know. The stuff that, you know, Call of Duty has pretty much had pinned down, where everything's very open and easy to use. They're definitely playing to that, which is a bummer in my opinion, because I liked that Gears was different. That's why I really liked it. That's why I started playing it in the first place, was because it was different than the other games. But they do have a classic hammer burst in here, which is awesome. Gears 1 hammer burst with, you know, it actually bursts instead of being semi-auto. It looks like it's more than a 3-shot burst in this case, which is what it was in Gears 1, of course. But I don't know. I'm cool with that for sure. Very, very, very cool with that in every sense. So it appears as well as though some of this stuff I'm just realizing for the first time on this time through. I've watched it, but not like, you know, probably as much as well as I should have. But it appears that if you hit somebody with the grenade when you throw it, it does stick to them. It doesn't really seem to present any problems to me. I'm trying to be optimistic about this because I would really love another Gears multiplayer, but by the way that things are going, my estimation is that this will be a great single-player game. And that's all that I'll say on the matter. Now that appears to be the way that this series is going, but I want to be very optimistic because I would love nothing more than for a great Gears game. Yeah, okay, so let's see what it's like going up against, see, going up against that boom shield, there's just nothing that you can do. I mean, he had a grenade, but you really just have to get around him, or have, somebody take him out from the behind, because it's free-for-all. It's just, I don't know, doesn't really work that well. So, that's going to be a problem. Yet again, I don't want to base anything here off of the free-for-all game mode, because let's all agree that's going to be just a disaster. But that will be a problem, especially in like an objective game type. Think about somebody in a King of the Hill or Annex, whatever they're going to have. Think about somebody just in there with a boom shield picking you off with a hammer burst, from 80 miles away. That just won't be good. Worried about that. Very worried about that. Either way, clearly I'm going to get the game at the midnight release, play it, non-stop. I just don't know how much of this multiplayer I'll be playing. The stuff that they're releasing is not really tickling my fancy. Hopefully it seems perfect to all of you guys, because, I mean, if you enjoy the game, great. But I am not liking what I'm seeing so far. Overall. The lack of stopping power on those retro charges might turn into being a problem, who knows. In fact, that then there's really hardly any way to get rid of those retro charges, which, I mean, the retro charges weren't really that big of a deal. They were just very annoying. They weren't ever really that bad. But that's the gameplay, guys. That's kind of my breakdown of it as we go along. I hope you enjoy. Let me know if you agree, or maybe if I'm completely off on something. Let me know. Talk to you guys later.